First type of vocabulary we're going to talk about is the different types of data that we're going to be looking at. So to start, we have parameters and statistics. A parameter is a numerical measurement describing some characteristic of an entire population, all of the women in the nation. A statistic is a numerical measurement describing some characteristic of a sample of that population, all of the women in that nation who have blonde hair. Quantitative data versus qualitative data. Quantitative data consists of numbers, representing counts or measurements, and qualitative data consists of names or labels that are not numbers, that are not numerical. Also, there's discrete data and continuous data. So discrete data is when the number of possible values you could have is finite or countable. So for example, when you're rolling a pair of dice, the only possible values you could get are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12. However, continuous data is numbers that can take on any value between any two numbers. So, for example, if you're measuring the amount of milk that cows can produce, you could get measurements like 2 liters or 3 liters, but you also could get any decimal in between, such as 2.37 liters or 2.81932855 liters. Another way of classifying data is by levels of measurement, and there are 4 that you're going to be quizzed on. Nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. So let me explain each one of those. Nominal level of measurement is if the data consists of names, labels, or categories only, no numbers. So this can't be arranged into any meaningful order. Good examples of data like this are colors or favorite foods, names, categories, that type of thing. Next is ordinal level of measurement. Data that are ordinal level of measurement, if they can be arranged in some meaningful order, but the differences cannot be determined or the differences are meaningless. For example, if you're listing all the top 5 national parks, that data is ordinal. It has an order. There's a number 1 and a number 2 and a number 3, but the difference between the two isn't measurable. Also, differences with things like excellent, good, fair, poor, those differences can't be measured. They're kind of meaningless differences. Compare that to interval level of measurement. Data that is interval level of measurement is similar to the ordinal one, except that the differences do matter. So, for example, Pedro was born in 1979 and Jamie was born in 1995. There is a measurable difference between when Pedro was born and when Jamie was born. But for interval level of measurement, there is no natural starting point. Compare that to a ratio level of measurement, which is the same as the interval level of measurement, except there is a natural starting point. So for example, the amount that you pay for gas when you fill up your tank. You might go to Arco and pay $3.33 per gallon, have the total amount you pay. So you might go to Arco and pay $52.18, or you might go to Shell and pay $72.23. But there is a natural starting point that would be $0. And finally, collecting sample data. We have 5 types of collecting sample data that we're going to be looking at. One of the most common that we're going to use is simple random sampling. Every subject is chosen in a way that a sample size n has every item in that sample size has the same chance of being chosen. Systematic sampling is we select a starting point and then select every kth element. So say you're at the Honda plant in Ohio that is producing cars. Every 10th car is selected and inspected at a different level than the other ones are. That's systematic sampling. Convenience sampling literally is the easiest results to get. So you're standing in front, you want to know how many people, or do people prefer Coke to Pepsi? So you turn around to your classroom and you say, raise your hand if you like Coke or Pepsi, simply because it's easy. Stratified sampling. Separate the population into subgroups with similar traits. So men and women, or everybody under the age of 18, ages 19 to 29, ages 30 to 39, and so on. And then draw a sample from each subgroup. That's stratified sampling. And then finally, cluster sampling. Divide the population into groups and pick some of those groups. Then choose all of the members from those groups as your sample. Everybody from between the ages of 19 and 29 is chosen in that sample.